other state opens as early as Utah. It's a giant pile of awesomeness. Think about this. I'm bow hunting in the end of August. Can you say bonus round?
It's August the 22nd, and the elk are, I mean, we're still seeing bulls in velvet. How many guys have killed that velvet bull?
But I know one guy who hasn't, this guy. But it won't be easy. No bugling, no running, no responding to calls.
I think killing a bull in Utah in August would be an incredible accomplishment. You got to stalk in on that. How do you do that? How do you do that in August when they're not bugling or not in the rut? And I keep asking myself that question over and over.
It's like trying to date the popular girl in school, and the answer is no.
We were that close.
Oh yeah, and did I mention this place has giant mule deer in velvet? We happen to have one of those tags too.
Just be ready. We're gonna do it.
Needless to say, this is my first hunt of the year. The freezer's getting low, and it's time for all that summer shooting practice to pay off. This one is non-stop, so I'm gonna stop talking. You start watching. Team Elk starts right now.
August archery hunt, it's a real challenge to do it and see what happens.
That's my guy, Steve Woolston-Hume of Red Creek Outfitters. And when he says challenge, he's not kidding.
Right now, I want a death elk. That's what I want. It's a death elk. It's August, and I am scared to death about what this elk hunt's gonna be like. When archery season comes around, the bulls run rut. They're bugling. You can locate them. Typically, kind of the same thing. Find the cows, find the bulls. Work a little cow call. Hey, got a pretty good chance with a bow in your hand. But in August, but they keep telling me it can be done. Let's find out.
Now remember, I also mentioned the tag I have for mule deer. The elk comes first, but I have no intention of eating either tag.
And we just had two really nice bucks. Just right there, you know, 120 yards. I mean, it's just as well could have been 40 yards. You just don't know, you know, but they were right there kind of feeding. The wind is really swirling on us.
Day one in the books, with the deer sighting being our only highlight. From there, we walked and looked, but didn't see anything, and for sure didn't hear anything. Remember, they're not bugling. I told you guys this was gonna be hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what elk country's supposed to look like.
Well, they're here. You and I just got to get our game face on and find them.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm only as good as my guide, so.
I knew the pressure was going to come back to me, and that's all right.
They told me before I came here, they said, you know, we're probably going to put you with the dad there, and, you know, I'd been talking to Garrett, and he said, I'll put you with my dad. He's a little older, and I said, I don't have mercy on old people.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't take old as an excuse. Nobody takes 32 and fat as excuse.
No, they don't.
I know.
No. So we ought to work out well together. An old guy and a fat guy.
That's right. You really just called me fat, didn't you?
No. Let's go.
Hey, do I look fat on TV? I mean, tell me.
No, you don't. It's amazing what they can do, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Who wants to kill on the first day? I honestly hate it when people say that.
Forgot my binoculars. I feel naked. My bruns are hanging at the camp right now. So I'm depending on him. It's all on him. Right there. right here, so we're gonna see if we can get on him. You know, we were seeing bulls that were, you know, just away from us, 150 yards. There were groups of 2, 3 bulls. We were finding some bulls that were in velvet. We were, I mean, it was just, I mean, I was really amazed at the number of animals.
We just been covered up in this morning. I mean, it's just been one after the other after the other.
We weren't able to get close yet, and I knew that just because we were in them, that really didn't mean anything. It just meant that, you know, that the animals were here. And if we could learn how to get it together as a team, that we had a pretty good chance.
And if I get a chance to put my hands on some velvet, or a bull elk for that matter, that I spot and stalked without him making a sound, I'm just be ready.
It's afternoon of day number 2, and we really thought today the temperature might get a little cooler. Let's just kick it old school. Let's just go climb up in a tree stand. It's hot. It's been, you know, 90 degrees, so I thought, we'll go climb the tree stand and make it work that way.
We can tell that these wallows are getting a lot of attention. They may have been hit this morning early.
I'm not just sitting in a tree stand because I'm a little out of shape. I honestly think this gives us the best chance to kill a bull. If I didn't, I would hike up and down the mountains like everyone else. But when it's hot outside and I am out of shape, tree stand, that is a fantastic idea. Oh, and I forgot to mention Cameron Haynes is in camp this week, and I can promise you he's not sitting in a tree stand.
Cameron and them are out pounding the mountain right now. Hiking.
Actually, at that very moment, Cameron was putting the stalk on a big muley that was bedded. Threw a rock at him to get him to stand up, and then shooting him at 8 yards. In the meantime, I'm in my cozy tree stand, and I had a couple of moose run through.
I just want to hear a bugle.
Just a little bit before dark, we could hear those steps, those footsteps coming, twig break here, and something sound like an antler brushing across a limb. I mean, just, you know that sound. And sure enough, here comes this bull. I come to full draw on him, and he doesn't even hesitate. He just turns and walks off, and absolutely get no shot.
Enter adrenaline rush now.
There's something about the tree stand that makes, I'm like shaking like a leaf, dude.
I know I look like I was about to puke. Trust me, I know I look like I was about to throw up right there.
I mean, look at that.
It lasted for 10 minutes. I mean, I just had the shakes. But that's what hunting's all about. If you don't get that, if you don't have that feeling, if that's not, why do you do it? I mean, yeah, we all do it because we like to put great, you know, food in our freezer for the winter. And I like to feed my family, and hell yeah, I'll tell you, I like to know that I killed what my family's gonna eat the next year. Because I think that's the way it was meant to be. But that adrenaline rush, that's what it's all about. Let me tell you about the mule deer incident. It always begins by saying, it did not go well. If I use the word incident, that doesn't exactly ring success. We are working our way up this trail. It's pretty quiet, and we see this buck.
I've never killed a velvet deer.
Hey, if you want to kill him, so that's up to you, buddy.
I'm gonna make this happen. And I can tell he's not a great buck, but he's okay. He's a pretty decent representative of the species. And I asked Steve, I'm like, how long do you think he's gonna lay there? And Steve says, I don't know. He could lay there for an hour. I did what any great hunter would do. I wanted to make a little racket and get him to stand up. When he stood up, I was just like I see him do on TV. I was gonna be ready. I had to blame it on Cameron Haynes.
Thanks a lot, Cameron.
This guy stalked in within 10 yards of a mule deer the other day, bet it, and throws a rock.
I squeaked at him, and my deer ran off.
That's not fair.
They say take tips from the best. I take tips from the best. I squeak at the deer. The deer gets up and he bolts out of there like he's got somebody riding him, whipping him with a logging chain, But it was fun, and I got him to stand up.
There's a pretty nice bull right there.
I just don't see any way to cover that much ground.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
One in the back, for sure. Well, we're back in the bulls again right off the bat. We just saw some pretty decent bulls over here that I really would like to go after, but they're on the other side of this meadow. I just don't know how we'd get to them. Why don't we just stand by this tree for the next hour?
Yeah, no kidding. And that may be a good plan.
But we were still getting really close, and I felt like, just a couple little things had went our way, it was gonna happen.
After a couple days, it's no big deal. After 5 days, it starts to wear on you, and what I like to call the tag monster starts to show up.
Uh-oh.
The invisible monster that steals your tags and causes you to go home empty-handed.
Let's see if we can go get on another one.
And when things don't go right on stalks, I love to blame it on my cameraman, because I believe about 95% of the time it's his fault.
I mean, with skill like that, you'd think I'd be able to kill an elk. I mean, come on.
It's a 6-day hunt. It's time to get something done. It's just that simple. It's time to make it happen. Can't do it without confidence.
There's a bull right there. Right there.
I've been on so many rut hunts before. When the bulls stop bugling, guys will say, well, they're not bugling, it's over with. We volunteered. We knew that they weren't bugling when we showed up in camp. I don't even know how to begin to tell you how exciting this hunt was.
You know what? It's been 6 days. We've been talking about it. And I told y'all, when I finally killed my bull, I was gonna teach you how to ducky.
And it was incredible. And to do it in the way that we did it, it was one of the most humbling elk hunts I've ever been on. It was one of the most difficult, challenging elk hunts that I've ever been on. And at the same time, it felt like it was the easiest and most fun elk hunt I've ever been. Golly. Man, I'm so happy about that. I mean, it's August. It's August, and I'm on the board. I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Look at that old velvet hanging everywhere. You're right, he did just start rubbing.
And it's not about that for me, but there's just not very many people that'll ever say they killed a bull in velvet.
Yeah.
And I know that he's not all the way there, but he's got some of it still on there. And you know what? At that, I will be the most proud of this 5-point and this bull for maybe yet. I don't know. I mean,
anytime as a guide, you can be successful in putting your hunter on an animal when conditions are tough and being successful. You feel a little bit of satisfaction yourself.
this is great. Pumped about this right here.
Now remember, I also mentioned the tag I have for mule deer.
I'm fixing to go in right here. That buck should just be on the other side of the ledge. Your guess is as good as mine.
The way the Elk Foundation's operating right now with the programs they have and the different things they're doing to ensure the future of elk and hunting and habitat and everything else, you know what? They've got 100% support, 110% support out of Red Creek Outfitters, and they've got people involved now that are true hunters that know what direction things need to go, and that's what's happening.
What most of you probably didn't know is that this was the first bull I had ever taken with a bow. After almost 4 years of trying, I was finally able to connect. Hey, some guys have it happen in the first 30 minutes. However, they too will find out sooner or later how difficult elk hunting really is. Elk hunting is hard, but it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever do. And more important than the fact it took me 4 years is the fact I kept going out. Because for me, the hunt is honestly more important than the kill. Hey, I want you guys to check out rmef.org to find out how you can become a member of Team Elk, and remember, hunting is conservation.